ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Two Geeks. My name's Alex. I am flying solo again. I say this morning because it's probably when you're listening to this, but if you're not, then happy evening, afternoon, whatever. I have, again, absolutely no plans, so I don't expect it's going to be a long listen for you this morning. So if you're having a cup of coffee, play it twice or something. I don't know. I was going to talk very quickly about the Ghostbusters Haslab that has been live for about a week. I actually didn't find out about it until a few days ago, by which point it had already funded. So anyone's thinking about the theory of Haslab fatigue or the high-end collectibles folks not being as into certain things anymore, I think this kind of puts that down a little bit in that this is already funded by the time I had discovered it. It is not on my radar, as with many of these things, but if you already have the Proton Pack, this is going to be a must-buy for your collection. It's a Ghost Trap and PKE meter. The funding additional tiers, I think you're looking at, I think it's 10,000 to fund. It's already at 12, so we know it's definitely getting made. The first tier has already been confirmed and announced. Second is, I think, I'm scrolling the page and I can't seem to find it despite having just been looking at it. So second tier is 12,000, third tier 15,000, and 18,000 for the final tier. I would be shocked if it didn't make it to the 18,000 backer by the end of the funding period, which it is the 4th of November right now, so there's still another month to go. Plenty of time for folks to pick up another one, pick one up, whatever it is you want to end up doing. Speaking of things I also have just discovered happened, it occurs to me that the Crown Jewell pay-per-view premium live event happened in Saudi Arabia for WWE. As you all know, I'm not a huge fan of WWE, just too much to watch on my end, but I always keep an ear out just to see what's going on. If anyone is surprised that Roman Reigns did not lose, then clearly you're paying more attention than I am. I just assume at this point that's going to be an ongoing thing. I fully expect him to last until at the very least Mania, if not beyond. But hopefully this will push LA Knight further, put him in contention for something else that he can actually win and celebrate and do what have you with. I'm not going to really talk about the rest of the pay-per-view because I don't have any idea of any of the storylines that are going on. And I feel like it would be a bit more disingenuous for me to read some recaps and then give opinions on things that I really didn't watch. And again, not my cup of tea. I did start watching Gen V this morning. The sequel, concurrent, whatever, spin-off series set in the world of The Boys. If you've seen The Boys, then you have a very good idea of what to expect. It has a vaguely X-Men-ish Generation X feel in that it's following a group of younger kids, young adults, as they go to a university to learn how to be superheroes when everyone is well aware that superheroes are a human creation. 2.5 episodes in, I found myself admittedly getting somewhat distracted. It wasn't grabbing me the same way that The Boys did, and I think that might be because there was no Carl Urban on screen. There's something about his Billy Butcher that's just engrossing, and none of the other characters really grab me the same way at the moment. But I mean, I'll keep watching. Jury's out on how long or how. I think there's 8 episodes out so far. That might be all of it. But at the very least, watch what's already out. Whether I go back for a second season or not is entirely going to depend on how it stacks up to the boys itself. The next season of The Boys, which I believe is being shot at the moment, if not probably due to come out shortly after Gen V wraps. I think that they're supposed to be happening at the same time, so it'll be interesting to see what, if any, carryover between the two shows there is. I'm sure I'm not the only one hoping for a cameo of some kind from Carl Urban. Uh, so, ironically enough, today is actually one of the few days that I'm recording this sat on my couch downstairs. And I don't know if you can hear the three idiots in the background running back and forth, but every so often one of them lets out a little meow or a cry, or the occasional hiss as someone annoys him. So if you can hear that, fantastic. If not, apparently the cancellation options on my microphone are actually getting a bit better, or may even be okay. But we'll find out. Depends on how much noise they make and how much I was able to edit out, if any at all. Probably the final thing for today. As I said, it's going to be a shorter one. Hopefully I've given you time to at least finish your coffee at this point. So we're coming up in Canada. There is no, Thanksgiving is in middle-ish of October, as I'm sure you remember us talking about already. So the question that I have, and my wife and I always tend to have, is how long do you leave your Halloween stuff up for? It's coming up November 5th for us. There's still the majority of Halloween things up and around here. A lot of that is because we enjoy Halloween. We've got the odd Mickey Mouse Halloween thing out that you only really get to enjoy for the better part of 3-4 weeks of a year. But then you have the lull between Halloween and Christmas. So at what point do you take your Halloween stuff down and start putting your Christmas stuff up? Is it mid-November? Is it early December? I think last year was the first year we actually had our tree up in November because we were just sat here one day and decided, this is a good enough day to do it. So up it goes. I think also because we had a young cat at the time, I wanted to see how she would do with the tree. This year, very similar situation. The youngest cat is only just about turned a year old, so just about turned a year old. So we'll see how he does with a tree now. Last year, he was climbing in it as much as was possible. I lost count of the amount of times I had to help him out of the tree. I think at one point he was halfway up before we noticed. Hopefully he's a bit older. Well, he is older, but hopefully he doesn't feel the need to be as in the tree as he was last year. But we'll see. So yeah, how long do you leave your stuff up for? At what point do you have a lull yourself where you take your Halloween stuff down and then wait before putting anything else up? Let me know. I'm curious. As I said, that's going to be it for this week. You know where to find us. Joe should be back next week. He was at Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend, which is why we didn't really get a chance to connect. We were going to record this morning, but I forgot that I had to take 2 of the cats to the vet, so didn't entirely work out. I'm sure we'll hear about Rhode Island Comic Con next week, and then we will talk about the story that I didn't tell you last week, and obviously didn't tell you today because I'm waiting to talk about it with Joe because I feel it will be a bit more interesting. On that note, that's it.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.